Mosul, Iraq, 1845. While excavating the ancient ruins of the Assyrian capital city of Nimrud, famed English archaeologist Austen Henry Laird unearths an amazing stone covered with detailed carvings. Dating to 825 BC, the black limestone obelisk commemorates the deeds of King Shalmaneser III. Curiously, depicted alongside his military conquests and various offerings made to him are strange hybrid creatures.
The black obelisk of Shalmaneser III is incredibly fascinating because as far as hybrid beings are concerned, what we have here are creatures half animal, half human. Some with a human head with then an animal body. And what's so interesting is the fact that the artist was very clear in depicting something, and that is that some of these creatures are held with a rope and one even with a chain. Now, did these creatures actually walk around here on Earth? And frankly, I would not be surprised if that's what happened, because the basic tenet of the ancient astronaut theory is manipulation artificially of genetic material.
Hybrid creatures abound in mythological traditions all over the world, and in many cases, they are part human. The ancient Greeks wrote about the centaur, half human, half horse. In Hindu mythology, the Naga are often depicted as serpentine creatures with human heads, while the Egyptian god Horus has a falcon head and a human body. Moscow, the Soviet Union, February 1954. At the Institute of Experimental Clinical Surgery, organ transplantation pioneer Vladimir Demikov conducts a potentially groundbreaking and highly controversial experiment. He transplants a dog's head onto the torso of another dog using vascular connections to the host dog's heart. The procedure is a success, and over the next 5 years, Demikov performs several more head transplants.
As far as these experiments are concerned, what they demonstrated was that scientists now had the potential to quite literally play God by mixing human DNA with animal DNA, creating, if you like, sort of chimeras.
Looking back on Demikov's efforts more than 50 years later, they may seem like the work of a mad scientist. But surgeons today have gone even further, actually merging animals with humans. In 2003, Chinese scientist Wei Zhenshen fused human cells with rabbit eggs, resulting in the first human-animal hybrids created through genetic engineering. In 2004, researchers at Minnesota's Mayo Clinic created pigs with human blood flowing through their bodies. And in 2018, Chinese scientist He Xionghui used a powerful new gene editing technique called CRISPR to create the world's first genetically edited human babies, Lulu and Nana.
It's basically molecular scissors that also do a cut exactly where you want to cut and puts the new pieces that you want into the DNA.
In recent years, some scientists have even proposed that building upon Vladimir Demikov's experiments with dogs, transplants of human heads may soon become a reality. Scientists have recently discovered that humans are remarkably similar to many other animals in terms of genetic makeup. Human beings share roughly 80% of their genes with cows, 85% with mice, 90% with cats, and 96% with chimpanzees.
I remember 7 or 8 years ago seeing in the Washington Post just a footnote in an article in their science section where they admitted that in Costa Rica there is widespread human-animal clones being made. And yes, my friends, you heard me right. In fact, if you go back to the BBC News articles from more than a decade ago, they admitted that they weren't just cloning humans, that they were splicing them, in one case, with cow genetics, bovine genetics, show that the cow would not reject the human fetus growing inside of its uterus. Now, why are they doing this? They are growing the fetuses up to close to term, reportedly, and this is what we know about, so that their organs can be harvested. You have your clone produced with cow genetics in it so that your clone can be grown in a cow nearing the time that you need the liver transplant or kidney transplant or blood transfusions, whatever the case is, and then your clone is harvested from the womb of the cow or the artificial wombs that they've been developing and harvested so that you can have an extended life. And the issue here is we need to have a debate about this. People see this as science fiction because in movies back in the 50s and 60s and 70s or in The Island of Dr. Moreau, this was written about many decades before that. And so people have been preconditioned that this is fantasy and that this doesn't exist. This is very real. Raise this issue again because over the weekend I saw in the news of Australia human-animal hybrids created amid Frankenstein warnings. Scientists in the UK have reportedly created more than 150 human-animal hybrid embryos in controversial, secretive lab experiments that spread over 3 years. And there's another report here out of the Daily Mail who also reported on this issue. A lot of things concern me and hopefully concern you with all of this, but one issue is the media. Every time I've seen this reported in the last 15 years, it's always the first time it's being reported, and they always say it's been going on for 3 to 5 years. Well, the first time I saw this confirmed, that human clones had been created but terminated before term, before they were born, was in the BBC, 95, 96. You can pull it up. I saw it again in 97, 98, 99. I've seen it in scientific publications. And in China, they have totally embraced this system. They're not only creating human animal clones that resemble humans, they've also created cows that are part human and create human breast milk.
Στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες πραγματοποιήθηκε η πρώτη μεταμόσχευση οργάνου και συγκεκριμένα νεφρού από γουρούνι σε άνθρωπο. Η επιστημονική κοινότητα εκτιμά πως η πρώτη αυτή επέμβαση ανοίγει νέους δρόμους στον τομέα των μεταμοσχεύσεων. Στις Ηνωμένες Πολιτείες εκτιμάται πως περισσότεροι από 106.000 νεφροπαθείς βρίσκονται στην επίσημη λίστα αναμονής για ένα νεφρό. Αυτή η πρώτη επέμβαση πιστεύω πως ενισχύει την προσπάθεια και δίνει νέα πνοή στην υπόθεση των μεταμοσχεύσεων. Νομίζω πως γκρεμίζει ένα ταμπού. Εκτιμώ πως σε 1 με 2 χρόνια θα αποτελεί ρουτίνα. Εκτιμώ πως θα σωθούν χιλιάδες ανθρώπινες ζωές. Στην Ευρώπη ο χρόνος αναμονής είναι μεταξύ 2 και 4 ετών. Όμως υπάρχει και ένα 3,4% που χρειάστηκε να περιμένει περισσότερο από 5 χρόνια.